was born in Khartoum, Sudan. I was there with my family, my siblings, until like around 2003. From there, we went to Egypt. We have lived there for like some time with my parents. We used to go to school. Like we had a normal life. So yeah. And then when Egypt, like for some time, we had a normal life. We went to school. We came back home, just like any other family would do. And you know, the Egyptians are kind of racist. Some Egyptians are nice, yeah, but not all of them. Majority didn't like the South Sudanese there. I remember there is a time we were going to school. There is a school where we used to go, me and my siblings, and I remember there are some guys who used to pass, like every time when they know when we are coming from school, they used to pass by, and then there is some, I don't know how they call it in English, but some, they use it to cane like the horses. It's called like sopanak, I think, something like that. So they used to cane us whenever we were coming from school. Okay, I was a kid, I was young. So I used to run. They mainly used to cane my big brothers. Yeah, so we complained to my dad that they beat us on the way, stuff like that. So we had to change school. But the school wasn't mixed, it was only for like South Sudanese kids only. We were not in the same school with the Egyptians. So, yeah. And then I remember there is some incident that happened. It's called, I don't remember well, but Mustafa Mahmoud, where they used to like bring hot water and chili and they sprayed on the South Sudanese, something like that. So yeah. So that's when I think because of the lifestyle and everything, the racism, our parents decided to move to Israel. I remember we first we boarded a bus, and then from the bus we stopped somewhere like in the desert, and then we boarded some other small, it was those Arab guys who live in the desert, so they came with some car, and then they took us, like they covered us, like as if we were goods, so that no one can tell that people are there. So they covered all of us and some other people, I don't remember. So we went, they were driving in the desert for some hours, and then we stopped somewhere, some tents, I don't know. We slept there, and then the following day, and they take a lot of things. They take money, they take jewelry, anything you can give, you give them, just so that they help you cross, yeah, to Israel, from Egypt to Israel. So we went, and then they usually move at night so that no one can see what's happening. So we moved at night, and they left us somewhere. And then they just show us, they be like, you guys just keep moving to that direction until you reach the border. So we're there, we slept in the desert, and then we started moving. They told us to remove our shoes, and then we moved and we moved until we reached. That's when the Israeli army came with some bus. They came with some food and drinks and everything. They were nice people. Yeah, so they took us. They took us to some camps. That's where we were. We were in some camps for like, I don't know, 2 weeks or a month, I don't remember. And some people stayed there longer, by the way. Like, yeah, some people stayed there for like 3 months, 2 months. So, but for us, we were there for like a month. And then they took us. And then they took us as refugees. They found some people there who could take care of us. I remember there was some lady and some guy that we found there when we reached the city. I was in Elat, a city called Elat. And then the guys there, the lady and the guy that were taking care of us, like all of us, we came with some people, and then it's like we were put in one building. all of us, and then some were up, some were, like we're all in the same building. And then they could bring us food. Sometimes we could go and eat from the hotel. For like 2 months, I think, until my parents got jobs. They helped them to get jobs in hotels. That's the main jobs they did, like cleaning, those things. So we joined school after my parents started working, and it's a government school. It's not, they never used to pay fees, nothing. So we used to go for free. We studied. I think I started from P2. P2, that was in 2007. We all joined school. We're there, and our school was in some place called North a lot. It was like, I don't know how they call it in English, but it's like the kibbutz that I went to, where we used to study. It was only for South Sudanese, like not only South Sudanese, Arabs, whoever was a refugee at that time, they were there. Some majority were there, some people were in the city, and they could take care of them. So we used to go to school and come home, and we didn't know the language, but as children, we learned the language so quick. I wouldn't say I had friends, friends who are I don't think, but there is some pastor. He's called John. He had some shelter where we used to go every Friday for prayers. Like most of the South Sudanese used to go there for prayers every Friday. He was nice to us. Some people were nice, and some people weren't nice, of course, especially the Russians. Not all of them, but the Russians were racist. They never liked us at all. Like, I don't know what's up with them, but they never liked us. But the Israelites were good. So I was there from like 2007 to 2012. So in 2012, the deportation. People went. In 2000, it happened like a year before, like in 2011. That was peaceful because some people went. It was their choices. I think they gave them money, so they left. But then in 2000, because most of our friends left, were only few. And then in 2012, it was force. Okay, they didn't do it like force, like beating and stuff, but people stopped working, and some people were imprisoned. So it was harsh. You cannot be in a country where you're not working. How will you pay your bills? Children were not going to school. So most of the parents just decided to go. So we went, in 2012, we went to South Sudan. Our government, I think our president said that he wants his people back. So these people took us. But South Sudan was a new country by then. It just got independence. So it never had good facilities, nothing. A new country. It was just a new country. But these people didn't care anyway. They just took people back. When you live in a foreign country, and then you are deported to a new country that has nothing, it's harsh. But then we were deported anyway. So we went 2012, I think it was July, when we were deported. We came to South Sudan. We were there. Life was good at first, we had money. People liked us. Everyone comes to our place. We had money. My mom had some business. And then in 2000, that didn't last long, the good life that we had. It didn't last long in South Sudan. So in 2013, that's when we went to we were renting. So in 2013, I think we ran out of money. My mom's business collapsed. So then we went to our home. My dad bought some land somewhere. So we went to live there. And it was harsh. The water was dirty. South Sudan was too hot. we felt sick, like every week we were sick. It was really hard to adapt to everything, to the harsh weather, to the sicknesses, no good roads, there is nothing in the country. But then we're there, we managed, it's our country. We have been there in 2013. It was okay. Things were hard here, but my mom was trying. We lived there, we went to school, I think, for like, we joined school, but not for long, for like a month, I think. Then, like in 2013, few days to Christmas. I don't know, 5 days before, something, I don't remember. So one night we were sleeping, and we had like gunshots. So I remember I told my mom, are you guys hearing? Then they were like, you know, maybe it's just the soldiers fighting, what, because in our country, by the way, it's very normal. You can hear gunshots everywhere, every day it happens. So they were like, it's normal. We slept for that night, and then the following day, we moved around. We had like some neighbors, there is some lady, she was a Aluer lady. So she packed her stuff, I don't know, we never had a lot of neighbors, by the way. This area was like bush by then. Not a lot of people live there. So we like few neighbors, like around 5 to 6 homes around there. So the neighbor, it was her, I remember she had like one girl, a big girl, and a small child. So they were leaving. My mom asked them, where are you going? They were like, we're just going to a visit somewhere. Then we were like, okay. So we went to another house of another lady. I don't know, she's from Kuku, something like, oh, Madi, these guys. So we were with them, we were there for some time. We stayed with them, nothing happened. And then we went back home. We went back home, we slept. And that night, so a lot of gunshots were there. And then in referendum, like there is this barracks, I don't know if it's a barrack place called Bilfa. Our home is near there. So my mom was like, again, maybe these guys are fighting, something is happening. And then like around, was it 1 a.m.? Some guys came to our home, like they are soldiers. They came to our home, they knocked the door, and they were like, what, do you guys have food? We had some food, so we gave them the food. We put for them, they ate, and then we gave them bed sheets because they said they're going to sleep just in a near place outside. So we gave them bed sheets. They slept there. They came back like around 5, I don't know. It was still dark, but it was almost morning, but still dark. So they came, they brought the bed sheets back, and then they were like, you know, thank you, you helped us, what. Then they went. When it was morning time, like around 8 or 6, we went to some lady's home again. Because my mom is looking for answers, she doesn't know what's happening, bullets, people are hearing. So we went to that lady's house. She's a Nuer, but she was a good Nuer. We were there. I don't really remember what she told my mom, but she was there, she was okay. She was making tea for her children, like nothing is happening. And then I remember there are some soldiers passing by. They passed like from the fence. So we were there for some time. Again, we went back to our home. That's when things started started escalating, things were serious. We're there, we couldn't move out because the gunshots were like loud and we could hear, they were close, we could hear it, like we could hear people shooting at the ceiling. So it was really close. So we were home, we couldn't move out. My mom was like, you guys, let's be here. So I remember we hid under the bed. Like we hid under the bed, and these same guys, these same soldiers that came the previous night and asked for food, they came again and they were like, okay, my mom speaks the Nuer language because my grandmother is a Nuer, so my mom speaks Nuer. So whenever these guys come to our home, my mom is the one who speaks. She speaks Nuer, so these guys thought that we're not were Nuer too, but we were Dinkas. So they were talking to my mom, and then my dad was in the other room. It was quiet. I don't know. They were asking for food. We had like some buckets where we used to put like rice, like food. We had food at home. So it was like, we want food, what. And they wanted like to take all the food that we had at home. And my mom was like, I can't give you guys, this food is for my children. I can give you some, but I can't give you all. But they were like, we want food. That's when my dad came out, actually. That's when my dad came out. He was quarreling and he was speaking in Dinka. So these guys were like, they were saying Jing something, I don't know, they were talking in their language. They were saying, so these people are Jing, they're Dinkas, what. That's when things were serious there. My mom was like, you guys hid under the bed. We entered under the bed, all of us. And then they took my dad. They took my dad and my big brother and my other brother, my two brothers, outside, and my dad, the three of them. And they told them like,